I love my children, but I developed mental illness after they were born and they have both inherited it. Knowing what I know now, it is cruel to bring children into a world of suffering where it is so difficult to access healthcare. I resent my mother so much for pressuring me so hard for so long to have a child, not as much as I resent myself and hate myself for caving, but close. She basically guilt-tripped and fear-mongered me into it by crying that I would regret it, that my eggs wouldn't last forever, I would have no one to care for me when I'm old, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure many of you have heard all the same shit from your own enabler. I feel like she wanted me to have the baby for her, not for me. I feel like I was her surrogate. This one's titled, Had I Known, I Would Have Never Done It. My bad for not researching what it takes to raise a child. I didn't know I was going to lose so much independence, spend so much money, and damage my marriage so badly. It's not the kid's fault, it's mine, because I made the decision to have them. It was a very bad decision. What life is better? Child-free and do whatever you want with your time/money, or sacrifice 95% of it so the toddler stops crying for 1 hour a day? Even when they are all happy, is that happiness bigger than me being on my own enjoying a hobby? Well, assuming they are equal, I still think a hobby is better. Now I am in a position where I have to do so many sacrifices to get 30 minutes of happiness with the kids and wife. I could have been happy for a much longer time a day without kids. I won't stop trying to be a good father, but I won't stop regretting I brought them to my life either. This is the full, sad truth. Judge me if you will, but I am not going to deny this regretful feeling and lie. I'll get to the point. I am not mentally stable. I have borderline personality disorder and PTSD, and I've been doing particularly bad postpartum. I don't have any negative thoughts toward my daughter and would never dream of harming her. I love to be around her, but my mental stability is so gone. I OD'd on a benzo last week and had to go to the hospital. I drink to cope with my emotional pain. I have sex with guys I just met. I used to have a self-harm problem I'm trying so hard not to relapse into. I mentally abuse myself all the time. I hate being alive because I'm in so much emotional distress. I think all the time how I'm a waste of space and she deserves better. I want to self-destruct. I'm impulsive, angry, etc. As I say, absolutely none of this is directed towards her, but I can't bear her seeing her mother like this. Why am I like this? I hate myself. Last night, I reviewed the year as my baby was about to turn 1. I thought of some happy moments, I did. But mostly I thought about how miserable this has been, how I feel like I'm in an insane asylum most days. I have no mental space anymore. I have no wants, no interests or hobbies. How depleted I am. How my body has been wrecked by this. I hate myself. Everyone has said it gets easier, but not really. It's always been hard, and the relentlessness is killing me. I feel so very sad today. Did it ever get easier for any of you? Does anyone else have experience with still feeling like you're drowning this far in? This one's titled, I'm jealous of my child-free friend. Obviously, I love my husband and daughter, but this life makes me miserable. I'm so incredibly jealous of my friend. I wish I could come home from work to absolute silence, eat in peace, go to the gym, read, watch TV. I never wanted to be a mom, and it makes me feel like a terrible person, but I'm not fit for this life. My maternal instinct is non-existent. I'm inherently a selfish person and an introvert. Honestly, I could see my husband once a week and be perfectly happy. My daughter didn't ask to be brought into this world and deserves a parent who actually enjoys spending time with her. I wish I could go back in time and choose a life similar to my friends. I'm only 33 and my baby is only 8 months, but I get such dirty looks when I say I can't wait to drop her off at college when I'm 51 and go on a month-long vacation alone. What if she needs you? There's other people she can call in that time. I'm gone. So until I state otherwise, all of these next responses are from a thread saying, anyone who is over 50, do you regret having kids? And the reason I selected this is because the creator whom I tagged, and many other people, insist that, no one's going to look after us when we're old. And not that 50 is old, it's not. But these are people whose children most likely have left the house. These are people who, in the olden days, would be looking at retirement, probably not anymore. But, they are beyond middle age. So they'd be more worried about who's going to take care of them when they're old than when they had their kids at, 25. 56 here. Yes, I regret it. I couldn't handle 2 very well. I did my honest to God best, but mental health issues sometimes surfaced. My youngest, 24, has hated me for 10 years and we haven't spoken in almost a year. My oldest, 27, is kind and respectful, but I have to initiate 90% of the contact and now she is moving out of state. I just feel like what was the point of sacrificing 20 years of my life for them? I'm 65 and I massively regret it. No abuse, no substance problems, no financial problems, generally a very lucky situation. Still, it was a huge, horrible mistake to have kids. I devoted my entire best decades to making a good home for them and gave up a career and professional opportunities, giving up every single freedom and life joy of my own because it is a 24/7 slog of work to do parenting well. My son turned out well enough. Sometimes he says, "But you always loved being around us." I guess I was convincing. Daughter, on the other hand, is a drama queen pain in the patoot. Yes, that's what they wrote. 42 years old and still an emotional baby or teenager. She has flounced around and gone low contact, for which I am grateful and relieved. All I want is to be allowed to live my few remaining years without the effing burden of kids and their constant demands for approval. Of course, I will always love her, but I do not like her. And if I encountered her in the world not knowing her, I would never, ever choose to know her or become friendly with her. We have nothing in common except DNA. So in short, do I regret wasting my life on the thankless and all-consuming prison of parenthood? Yes, I do. Am I furious at myself for having chosen that path? Yes, I am. Will I ever get those decades back? No, I won't. So listen up, women. Do not do this. Live your own life and steer clear of the massive sinkhole that it is to have kids. I always laugh about the no contact thing. It seems it is a very popular choice amongst adult children. If they only knew how much they are threatening us with a good time. My regret on having kids has lessened as I've become an empty nester, but it is still there. One kid is making terrible life choices, and it makes me so mad. I put up with her abusive father raping and choking me, I worked like a dog, put her and her siblings first above myself, and I'm rewarded with an idiot who married an older felon and pops out babies she can't afford, and keeps those babies from having a relationship with me because she's mad that I don't approve of the felon who is still criminally active. It has broken my heart over and over. Every time I reach out to repair the relationship, she uses it to hurt me. I wish I'd never had her. I'm not over 50, but I do regret it. I'm 39, son is 23. It's only giving, caring, giving. Nothing in return. I'm over and done. Wish I'd never had him. But yeah, can't do anything about it. Just wait until time passes and he will finally move out. I wish him the best. It's not giving me anything in life, really. Anything. I regretted becoming a parent within days of bringing home our son. All the things everyone here is describing. Total loss of freedom, pulling my hair out, trying to keep this demanding, screaming mess, eating, sleeping, and entertained. People kept telling me it gets better. He's now 10. We get more sleep now, but it still sucks. I'm so fucking tired of being his slave. I still have no free time, still can't even shower regularly. I'm still fat and getting fatter, and our sex life is still dead. I can't comprehend what about any of this is rewarding. Not a day goes by that I don't wish I could rewind my life and stay childless. Don't get me wrong, I love my kids, but 95% of the time I want to jump off a fucking bridge. My daily life is made up of breaking up fights, screaming, whining, and just overall very poorly behaved toddlers. I consider myself to be a pretty strict parent, and they still can be absolutely demon children. The past few years, I have dealt with severe overstimulation to where I feel like hurting myself or the kids. I wouldn't, but sometimes I genuinely want to beat the living shit out of them until they stop whining. It's non-stop. I've never dealt with overstimulation that I can remember until I had kids. Sometimes it's to the point I can feel every fiber of my body and mind and just want to rip out of my skin. It's honestly brutal. The screaming, the whining, and crying constantly is what causes my overstimulation episodes, as I like to call it. Brutal isn't even close to describing the overwhelm I feel. I'm a good dad. I give my kids a good life. I'm just really struggling with this. I don't hit or abuse my kids, but as fucked up as it sounds, it makes me at times understand how parents accidentally kill their kids. And finally, the fact that this subreddit is even needed. It says a lot about our society that to a great extent defends freedom of speech and freedom of opinion, but as usual, it's freedom of speech as long as it's the right kind of speech. It has to align with the accepted narrative. If someone is a smoker, smokes 1 pack a day, and the doctor told them to stop because it's starting to deteriorate said smoker's health, would it be wise to start smoking 2 packs a day rather than trying to quit? Or people who are in a lot of debt, would one encourage them to take out another loan? No, because it would worsen an already bad situation. Yet having a kid with no regards to your situation and mental health seems to be widely celebrated. Kids seem to be the one thing that is a great idea regardless of everything else. The fact that we need this subreddit to even have a voice is so fucking disgusting, and I hate our society for it.